All right, the next step in my retouching workflow would be to remove the bags from people's eyes, the darker spots right on the bottom of the eye. Now to do this, we are going to have to edit another version of this photo that has been merged. So what we're going to do, just like we did previously, is select all of the adjustments we made to softening skin, right click, holding the option button down, click merge layers. This creates a new copy. And we're going to call this skin softened. Then I'm going to create a duplicate of this, Command J, and call this bags. And so I wanted to create a duplicate just so we can see what is happening. And then again, we can actually move these three down here under to the archive so that we are a little bit more organized. All right, so to remove the bags under the eye, there are a lot of different ways, but basically we're just trying to brighten up this skin a little bit. You could take the dodge tool or the burn tool and just actually brighten up. Just brighten up with the dodge tool. But then that doesn't look too great. It looks like she has some weird makeup thing going on. You're just increasing the exposure of that area. A lot of people might tell you to use the clone stamp tool. So we're going to actually select a part of her skin that is the right color and then brush it underneath her eye. And that starts to look a little funky because it's just replacing this area with this area, and the pores, the lines, everything starts to look a little unnatural. So again, not what you want to do. Another option is this patch tool. This does a decent job. The patch tool is kind of similar to the spot healing brush, but you can actually click and drag and create a custom shape. And then you click and drag this to a new area. So say we put it up on her forehead because that's about the tone that we want. And it tries to do a job blending what you've selected into that spot. So I can turn this on and off, and you can see that it does a decent job brightening up. But again, it's taking the pores and information from up here and kind of copying it down there. Doesn't look that good in my opinion. All right, so we're going to undo that, and I'm going to show you a better way to do this. And I just wanted to show you those different ways because you might see those options on kind of quick Photoshop tutorials online, and it might work in a pinch, but I'm not going to do it that way. So again, I'm going to copy this, call this bags. All right, so what we're going to do is use an adjustment layer. So down here in your adjustment layers, use curves. Now this, again, gets a little bit confusing, but just follow the steps step by step, and you'll see what's going to happen. Instead of selecting the mask, you want to select this little curves icon right there, and then double click the eyedropper. Don't just click it once, because if you click it once and then click on the area, it's going to look really weird. Double click it, and it brings up this color picker, the target shadow color. So what we're doing is we're telling Photoshop, we're using the curves to say, we want the shadows to look like this color. So we're going to go down here where it's a little bit brighter on her cheeks. We don't want it to be that pink area where she has some blush, but something with a little bit more natural makeup. So something like that's good. Then click OK, click No, and then we're going to click in the area that we want it to replace. So we're going to click in the shadow. So somewhere in the bags of the eye, just like so. Now, like we did with kind of smoothing the skin, we're going to invert this mask. So select the mask right here, Command I to invert it, and then use our brush tool to paint it on. Now I've decreased the opacity of my brush to 10% so that I'm brushing this on in layers. If this was at 100%, it would brush that on like so, like crazy, which is too much. So I'm going to drop this down. I'm also going to decrease my flow to 25%. Both of these things will help it look a little bit more natural and smooth. So I'm just brushing this on, clicking and brushing, and you might not be able to see really what's going on right now, but when I do the before and after, you'll really start to see. So underneath here. And now if I show you the before and after, before, after, before, after, but it looks natural, right? Because we're using the skin tones, but we still have the details of the skin exactly the same. So zoom out just a little bit and you can really see before, after, before, after. Much better. All right, so that's my process for removing bags under the eye. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll continue on, moving on with retouching in the next lesson.